Warning, the podcast you're about to hear has a unique conservative perspective and may be politically incorrect, containing some controversy in its message. This episode may speak out against liberalism, socialism, the dark state, and religious organizations. It is possible that evil in politics, education, law, society, and religion will be discussed and exposed. However, we believe this podcast adds truth and value to a mature, disenfranchised audience who may be tired of apostate religions and wicked world systems. Listeners who are easily offended, overly sensitive, or have progressive leanings sympathetic to the topics we expose should be forewarned not to listen any further. We thank both those who choose to listen as well as those who choose not to listen. You've been warned. And now, let us get on with the show.
Mr. Powell, Mr. Powell.
Hello, everybody. It's Freedom Friday, and it's September 8th, 2017. And we got a show for you.
Big shoe, my friends. Wow. What a crazy week. I mean, where do you start, huh?
Huh?
Where do you start? I mean, it's just, wow. Exponentially just crazy out there.
And for Brother KAPOW not to have the words to express himself is amazing.
It is amazing because I'm seldom speechless.
I don't think I've ever had you speechless before.
No, but I am now.
Unprecedented.
I mean, we just had Harvey, right?
Harvey.
I'm just talking about America, too. I know there's stuff going on all around the globe. It's hard to keep up with because there's so much going on right here. Mm-hmm. The vast majority of our audience is from the U.S. So you can relate to hearing about Hurricane Harvey or experiencing it, God forbid. Now you have Irma. As we do this show today, it's about to make landfall. That's some scary stuff. Especially when you realize it's unprecedented. Ever recorded, there hasn't been anything this big. That's crazy. Mm. And then little Jose is right after it. And then Katia? Are you kidding me?
I know, right?
Wow. Now, at the same time, Montana is on fire. I mean, they're not getting the news. I don't think. I'm not seeing the wildfire news coverage, at least on the apps I'm using as much. Mm-hmm. But I am seeing pictures of it through friends of Facebook that have family and friends that live there. It looks horrible. I mean, they need snow. Yeah. Bad. They need winter bad. Rains and snow. You have Montana on fire. We have friends in Oregon. Mm-hmm. Didn't you say it's raining right now?
Yeah, we've been praying for rain, and as of yesterday, it started raining.
Oh, boy. So Oregon has been on fire. So bad that our friend that lives there, what was she putting a wet towel over her face just to go outside? Mm-hmm. And the ashes everywhere. Washington. We also have some friends that are up in Washington right now. The whole place is on fire. And then down in Los Angeles, they have what they call the La Tuna or the Burbank fire. Mm-hmm. I don't even know what the update is on that one, how bad that is. But I know that just a couple of days ago, it was yesterday by the time you hear this show, a street in L.A. just exploded. Boom.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. I mean, just went kaboom. And it knocked 2 manhole covers flying through the air. Each of these weigh 250 pounds. So the authorities there with the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power, they said, well, they think it's a transformer blew. These things get hot and it happens sometimes. Now, I was a native Californian. I lived there all my life. Never once heard of a street exploding from underground transformers. It was never anything that you were taught to be aware of. That would be a danger.
No.
But that's their reasoning. Obviously, they don't know. It just blew up. So, weird stuff. At the same time, you've got Idaho that has a bunch of quakes. You've got Yellowstone that the quakes are increasing. This is just here in America, and I know I'm missing like probably dozens of things that are going on in other communities in this particular nation. Mm-hmm. But in other countries, I mean, people everywhere, they're seeing weird lights in the sky and unidentified flying objects, weird weather.
Yeah, very extreme weather happening everywhere, globally.
Yeah. I saw a video just the other day, a California beach. In fact, I think this was Labor Day. Everybody's out there enjoying the sun, you know.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't it like Dana Point or something like that?
Something like that. I forget where it was at. And they're just enjoying the sun, and they're out there. And all of a sudden, these winds kick up. And I'm talking like monsoon, you know, bam, and it starts raining, and these winds just destroy these umbrellas and send people scrambling for cover. And it just came out of nowhere. Just bizarre. And there's a lot of people that, you know, you're not seeing them on the news or anything, but, you know, they're posting things on their channels or sending them to other channels on YouTube. And they're filming some of these weird weather patterns, you know, double suns, just weird things in the sky, weird clouds. Mm-hmm. It's strange, folks. Strange times that we live in. Right, Ms. KAPOW?
That's right.
And do you have truth? Now, do you have some truth for us?
I do.
All right, give it
I
to
do.
us, please.
Okay, let's see here. I'm going to read from Proverbs and 10 through 22. It says, when wisdom entereth into thine heart, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul, discretion shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee, to deliver thee from the way of the evil man, and from that man that speaketh forward things, who leave the paths of uprightness to walk in the ways of darkness, who rejoice to do evil and delight in the forwardness of the wicked, whose ways are crooked, and they forward in their paths, to deliver thee from the strange woman, even from the stranger which flatters with her words, which forsaketh the guide of her youth, and forgets the covenant of her God. For her house inclineth unto death, and her paths unto the dead. None that go unto her return again, neither take they hold of the paths of life, that thou mayest walk in the way of good men, and keep the paths of the righteous. For the upright shall dwell in the land, and the perfect shall remain in it. But the wicked shall be cut off from the earth, and the transgressors shall be rooted out of it. And then we have Zechariah 13:1 and 2. It says, in that day there shall be a fountain open to the house of David, and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem for sin and for uncleanness. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will cut off the names of the idols out of that land, and they shall no more be remembered. And also I will cause the prophets and the unclean spirit to pass out of that land.
Wow. That was a good one. That was a good one. And with everything that's going on right now, just here in the U.S., you would hope that many, many people decide to take things serious and maybe really examine our lifestyle and examine their spiritual place, right? Mm-hmm. To really start looking at an eternal worldview.
Right.
Like this stuff could all end real quick. You know, They could just disappear real quick. You just need one big hurricane and it's over. So, you know, you would hope. And I believe there are people like that are probably going, wow, you know, let's look to God. But at the same time, there are many, many others who they're just mentally ill, you know, and they're just going about their business like there's no eternity. Mm-mm. There's no tomorrow for them. It's all about this life. They're Luciferians. They serve Satan. Mm-hmm. Right, Ms. KAPOW? Lucifer and Satan are one and the same. The devil, Satan, he's Lucifer.
Yeah, but the Luciferian don't like to be called Satanists.
No. Because they think they serve the God of knowledge of gnosis. You serve Satan. You serve Satan. Yep. He's a fallen angel and he's deceiving you. That's all. The light you have is darkness. It's total darkness. Speaking of which, we'll get on with these stories. So just keep in mind everything that's going on in this country with all the natural disasters. And I know some people don't think they're natural. Some people believe they're caused by geoengineering and HARP and things like that. Regardless, with everything that's going on, these next stories are dealing with people who are so spiritually retarded that they're doing things not only to their own demise, but to everybody's own demise. Mm-hmm. The very reason why you have judgment. All right? So this is from the Sun, so it has to be true. And it's called Hocus Pocus. We've talked about this before, but this is a kind of an interesting article because it goes into more detail. But tens of thousands of witches around the world, not just here, but around the world, join forces every month to cast a binding spell on Donald Trump and protect us from his actions. It doesn't work that way. This is witchcraft. It's spell binding. It absolutely has karmic repercussions.
Definitely.
It's going to come back and get them. There's no way around it. This is the stupidest, silliest thing you could be doing. You're sending out demonic spirits to spellcast, and your intent is what it's about. They can say whatever they want. It's to protect people. We're just binding him from making bad decisions. Has nothing to do with him personally. That's all. You know as well as I do, it's all BS. Mm-hmm. And all that stuff comes back. Whether you support Trump or not, whether you like him or not, Paul, it has nothing to do with it. You're spellcasting.
Yeah. Plus, it just opens up a door for spirits to come and get you.
Absolutely. You talk about being a haunted person.
God's curse.
Yep. So here's a Hollywood witch, Hollywood, California, by the way. Her name is Vicki Adams. And she looks like something from the Addams Family, does she not?
Oh, yeah. Heavy makeup.
Oh, yeah.
Green hair. Green-blue hair.
And she's no spring chicken. Mm-mm. So she should know better. But anyway, she's been inundated with people wanting to learn to spell and buy ingredients. Mm-hmm. Tens of thousands of people. She runs a renowned occult store in Tinseltown. And she says that the spell aims to stop Trump from reaping harm and destruction across the globe. Really?
See, what seems right to a man leads to death, doesn't it?
Yep. It certainly does. So these people are contacting her wanting to buy herbs and spices and whatever they use, and they want to learn the spells against Trump. And it's amazing. She says she's just been... These people are desperate to learn the spell. And they want to buy ingredients. And now she gives the ingredients out. So the only thing that she doesn't give out is the actual words of the spell casting. But I think you can get that anywhere. It's nothing that they're making money from. It's these people are seriously stupid. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's silly. You know, you take an orange candle because that represents his tan skin.
Okay.
Really? You know, they do all kinds of weird stuff. And anyway, we talked about this before. It started back in February, and now it's become a global phenomenon. Do you believe that? Mm-hmm. They also use a tarot card, that Tower card, which is apparently the worst card you can get. It means destruction. And then they take the most unflattering picture you can get of the president. Mm-hmm. And they combine that with their orange candle and their spell casting, and then they do weird things. And they do this every month. Every month.
Yeah, on the crescent moon.
Yeah. Crazy. She also said, this Vicky gal also says that a lot of people are turning to witchcraft and black magic to help them deal with everything from boosting their love life or cursing or exacting revenge on their enemies. So outside of cursing Trump, she says a large number of people are turning to witchcraft. Now, come on, what's that all about, folks? Mm-hmm. Even celebrities come to her store, which is called Panpipe's Magical Marketplace. And these celebrities are looking for spells to help them land big movie roles. That's what it's about, right? Yeah. If you bow down and worship me, these kingdoms can be yours. Mm-hmm. This gal, I absolutely can't stand this Lana Del Rey gal.
Oh, yeah.
She's a full-on witch. She does this whole Trump spell craze thing, and she even tweeted the instructions a while back. Yeah. You know, this Vicky gal who owns the store says the Donald Trump spell is not a hex or a curse. It's binding Trump and any of his abettors to prevent them from causing harm and destruction to people, animals, the environment, and everything. Do you think it works that way? Mm-mm. Can you separate the two?
Nope.
No, of course you can't. You know, so this is just plain insanity, plain crazy. And here's what's interesting. This is what we keep talking about, and she says this right on in the article. She says, not everybody agrees with the spell within the pagan community. Some people think there will be karmic repercussions. And there will be.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there will be. But she...
Why do you think, like in the Bible, when they said, you know, about people that practice witchcraft, you're to kill them?
Yeah.
Because they bring a curse not onto themselves, but to the whole tribe, the whole people, the whole nation.
Yep, they open up all those demonic portals and bring it. So when these people are doing this worldwide every month, and they think they're just cursing Donald Trump, whatever, they're bringing in all this. They're creating loosh. They're creating loosh for demons, demonic reptilians. They're feeding on this stuff. Very, 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 very bad. You know, she justifies it and says, you know, it's not unheard of witches to do things like this, and it's been done before. She says in England there was a famous case where British witches helped to stop the invasion of the Germans in the British Isles, and you know, all this stuff. So anyway, this is what she's doing. She's selling this in her store, and people are turning to black magic. Mm-hmm. You know, we're going to reap those things.
It's very much like how Germany was back in its day, where they just practiced paganism.
Yeah, the whole nation just turned to paganism. The whole nation just turned to godless paganism. They're ripe for this, you know, Hitler stuff and their Aryan superiority and all this, you know, we're star children kind of nonsense. They were ripe for it. Whole nation, the whole nation. You know, she talks about a lot of other things here that I think that's quite interesting. This gal, by the way, practices black and white magic.
There's a difference.
Is there a difference?
No.
She practices black and white magic, including voodoo and ritual magic. She says she can help people exorcise demonic spirits for their homes, improve their sex life, or get a job, or improve their finances. And, you know, when people live in a quick fix society and, you know, they're frustrated and they don't have any spiritual or moral grounds, they fall for this nonsense, you know? She says she also has clients that come in with darker objectives, such as a curse or a hex. And she says hexes and curses are real. You're using very powerful force. You're using the planetary influence of Saturn or Mars. And she says any powerful emotion is going to make a spell more powerful. She says a curse can make somebody ill or bring absolute devastation and destruction to someone on their family or their ancestors. It can make you lose all your worldly possessions. It can make you lose your health. It can cause death. It can cause a loss of everyone you love. And she says, I'm not one to curse someone. It's not really my style, but I'm not going to condemn someone for doing it either. Especially when they're spending money in her store, right?
Yeah.
She says, I don't agree with it, but it's their choice and something they're going to have to answer with at the end of the day. If someone comes in wanting to do something negative, I won't try to talk them out of it, but I will advise them of possible consequences. Isn't that something?
Wow.
This gal's something else. And then she talks about like love's, you know, potions and spells and stuff like that, and how that can be dangerous because what happens, you make somebody fall in love with you and they get obsessed with you, and then chances are after you get them, you don't want them anymore, but now you've created a stalker or a psychopath, and they're dangerous. and they'll kill you because they're so obsessed with you. I never heard of that, but that, makes sense.
Exactly.
It makes sense. I gotta be with you. Now they're rejected. But you created this love potion or something. So, real stuff. Anyway, every month they're cursing the President of the United States.
It's funny, I was looking at some of the comments, and one of them was kind of funny, I thought. It says, "This lot isn't very forward-thinking. Where were the spells to get Hillary elected?"
Well, hey, that makes sense.
I mean, if you guys are so powerful and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah. Why are you cursing the guy now? Why don't you,
Why didn't you get her elected then?
That's a real good point. Obviously, he's making too much sense.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on in the midst of all this, catastrophe. You got goofy people, just like last week we talked about the Burning Man. People just doing pagan ritual, goofy stuff. You might think they're not hurting anybody or something. It is. It's opening up dark, dark times. This next story was sent to us from our good friend John Montero. And it is, he pointed this out to me. I thought this was interesting. Ecosexual professor wants you to have sex with the earth. They say we shamelessly hug trees, talk erotically to plants. We are very dirty.
Yuck.
Now, these two women are, I would use the word lesbian, but they're more like...
confused.
Yeah, they're more like dykes. You know what I mean? They're like dykes. There's a picture of the professor, and she's holding this globe on her arm, and she's got the armpit hair, and
yeah, she's nasty. Gross.
I guess she's the dude in the relationship. And I'm not being mean here. I'm just saying what it is. This is really, really crazy. And she's a professor. That's. I mean, she's teaching this stuff at the university level. And then a lot of times we wonder, what the heck happened to our generation? What happened to these people? What's wrong with them? Well, what do you think?
Yeah.
My gosh, it's time to, unless you're going to study a real, a real career, you're going to be an engineer, you go to medical school, I don't know. But, you can't take any of these liberal arts this stuff is ridiculous. This ain't going to make you any money.
No.
Jeez.
And it's just making you dumb.
Yeah. So, anyway, it says, this gal teaches having sex with the earth. So all this is, in this article, all this is that ancient pagan ritual fertility rites with the earth. That's all this is, and it's repackaged. Is it not?
Yep.
So what she says is you can sensually roll in the mud, you can make passionate love to a hulking tree, or even pursue a long-term romantic relationship with the ocean.
Good night.
It's all part of an eco-sex trend exploding on Google searches in the last year. I don't know if that's true or not. If it is, that's pretty sad. Eco-sex with the earth. But thanks in part to Professor Elizabeth Stevens, who teaches at the University of California at Santa Cruz. How many of you are shocked?
No.
The movement involves a combination of art, sex, and environmentalism. So as long as you can throw art in there, you can do a bunch of weird stuff, right? She's also the chairwoman of the Department of the California State-funded University.
Art department.
Yep. Oh, yeah, of the art department, yeah. She's been filmed in documentaries or eco-sex flicks doing the nasty with nature.
Gross.
And somehow doing the deed with Earth is supposed to save the environment from human destruction.
It's very much like Romans was talking about these people, instead of giving thanks and acknowledge God the Creator, they actually worship the creation.
Yeah. Exactly. And they're taking it to a really
gross level.
Yeah, perverted level. But that's exactly what they're doing. They're worshiping the creation. It's ancient pagan fertility rites. And that's what really all these stories have in common. These people are all witches. They're all Luciferians. They all serve Satan. And they're creating problems. you know, for themselves and for, you know, I feel sorry for these poor kids who take these classes, you know, especially if they don't have half a brain.
And it still opens them up to the incubus and succubus spirits.
Oh, gosh. It's just going to open up so many problems. Yeah. They like going out and hugging trees, and they don't just hug trees. They actually, she has a partner. She has a female partner. They massage river rocks. They lick the trees. There's a picture of them licking a tree.
Yeah. So actually, it's like a threesome.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They frolic naked in a stream, and they slather mud on one another.
Oh, brother.
And anyway, it goes on. And it's just, she's got documentaries. She did a march, apparently, in June. UC Santa Cruz announced that Stevens and performance artist Annie Sprinkle, that's her woman, offered an eco-sex walking tour.
Oh, brother.
You should see these clowns, man. They're unbelievable. And she says, come and experience 25 ways to make love to the earth, raise awareness of environmental issues, learn exo-sexercises, find E-spots, and climax with a planetary clitoris.
Oh,
that's what the announcement says. You might discover that you are ecosexual, too. And that wasn't the only taxpayer-funded hanky-panky happening at UC Santa Cruz under Stevens' leadership. Tax-funded.
So we're paying for that garbage.
Well, they are.
They are.
Stevens helped host an ecosex symposium at the university on May 18th and 19th with workshops on decolonizing settler sexuality. My Lord, they just come up with the weirdest nonsense. And academic freedom in an exophobic world.
Wow.
The symposium announcement said, join us for a multidisciplinary gathering to explore a relationship with the environment and social justice, engage in human, non-human collaboration, critique ideologies and debate new sexualities. What happens when we posit the earth as our lover?
Oh.
Let's examine where our bodies end and nature begins.
Oh, brother.
And she's also the author of The Explorer's Guide to Planet Orgasm.
Yeah.
That's my innocent mind. She's the author of The Explorer's Guide to Planet Orgasm for Every Body. And she's explored themes of feminism, environmentalism, and queerness for 25 years.
Wow.
And she's a professor.
Something to be proud about.
I mean, come on. Really? Okay. We'll take a commercial break, and then we'll talk about this next crazy woman.
Okay.
All right.
KAPOW! You are listening to the KAPOW Radio Show Network. KAPOW stands for Kingdom Against Powers of Wickedness. KAPOW is sponsored by Fifth Hook Media, a digital publisher of ebooks. FifthHookMedia.com has a selection of ebooks about spiritual warfare and Christian living. Visit FifthHookMedia.com. That's FIFTHOOK Media.com. Remember, that's FifthHookMedia.com. FIFTHOOK. KAPOW!
What's up, yo? I like it. I'm done, yo.
Demons in My Marriage Bed from all online digital retailers, such as Amazon.com. Demons in My Marriage Bed, a true story of spiritual warfare, changed the way my spouse and I conduct spiritual battle, and has increased our alertness level to the tactics of Satan. Please do not be fooled that such things cannot happen to you. Rather, get prepared and become the spiritual warrior needed to overcome in these perilous times in which we all live.
KAPOW, Miss KAPOW.
We're back.
We're back. Share. She offers dreamers a place to take refuge. She's mad at Trump all the time. And so she says she's already, she's ready to provide, quote unquote, sanctuary after the Trump administration announced the decision to end the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, or DACA program, that protects roughly 800K young immigrants who came to the U.S. as children And the singer tweeted that she will protect young dreamers and let them stay at her home. I don't know which home. I think she has several in Malibu and all over the place. But anyway, she's committed to... she's also one that said that she was going to leave the country.
Yeah.
If Trump got
and you notice that
elected.
didn't happen.
Yeah, so me thinks Cher is a liar. But, let's see if she makes good on this one. Because I think she should allow them in. I really do. She wrote that people who can should take dreamers into their homes and protect them. She added that she was ready to do it herself. Mm-hmm. So now she wants everybody else to do it, and she's just going to do it. And she says, here's what she says in quotes, "Those who can must take a dreamer into their home and protect them." Mm-hmm. Exclamation, exclamation. I'm ready to do this.
Well, that's good for her. That's her decision. I don't know why she has to, put we in her pocket.
Yeah. I got to join everybody else. Mm-hmm. She says others in my business will do the same. Caps, exclamation, exclamation. Caps, sanctuary. So she's insane. I mean, just about the way she writes, she's mentally gone.
Yeah.
Cher, who has been a vocal critic of Trump, is known for being very outspoken about politics. She has even called into C-SPAN several times in the past. So she's nuts. Now, one woman responded in a now deleted tweet, quote, "Sure you will, Cher. I'll believe it when you see it."
And then Cher tweeted back.
Yes. And she fired back. She says, "Then keep your eyes open, B-H." Yeah. So, anyway, if you know any dreamers or anything like that and they need a place to hide, I think Cher's house would be a cool place to go hang out.
Well, I'd like to hang out there.
Yeah.
Just to see what
She's got money. She lives on Malibu. There's the ocean there. I think that's really nice of her. So, that's a nice, positive story. Thank you, Cher. Appreciate that. I don't know how much money she's donating to the victims in Hurricane Harvey or whatever, but she's gonna help the illegals. Yeah. Hey, here's one that's kind of disgusting. Okay, all right. Speaking of Hurricane Harvey, a lot of victims there, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of people lost everything: homes, jobs, family. Some people actually lost kids, parents. So this one particular organization called Lilith Fund for Reproductive Equity. Mm-mm. They decided they're going to do something very nice for the victims, and they have established an emergency abortion fund for Hurricane Harvey survivors. I kid you not. This is incredible. They say as donations pour in for the tens of thousands of Texans affected by the hurricane, one group is putting money aside for a select group of survivors, those who require emergency abortions.
Mm-mm. Oh, wow.
They're an Austin-based Lilith Fund for Reproductive Equity, and they're involved with Planned Parenthood and a lot of other different organizations. They announced Thursday it created the fund for those affected by the storm who are also seeking abortion care. They said it has raised close to $4,000 as of last week.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
In the days and weeks before the storm, Lilith Fund heard from many callers who had appointments scheduled in Houston. But when Harvey hit, clinics had to temporarily close and appointments had to be canceled. So these poor people couldn't get their abortions because of the hurricane.
How inconvenient.
Yeah. So what am I going to do? I was scheduled for an abortion and the hurricane came. So Williams said delays caused by Harvey could significantly extend the time patients have to wait to get care. It could even push them past the 20-week state threshold. See, you can only do it before 20 weeks. Then you got problems. Which would greatly increase procedural costs.
Wow.
So all people, here's their quote, all people deserve the rights and resources they need to live safely, except for the babies, right?
Yeah.
All people except for babies, for infants, deserve the right and resources they need to live safely, freely, and with dignity and support. So they're raising money to help people who are inconvenienced in their abortions.
Satanists.
Yeah, they are Satanists, Luciferian licking Satanists.
And you know what I think is interesting too? That Lilith, the name Lilith, is from according to Jewish mythology, right? Mm-hmm. She's a dangerous demon of the night who is sexually wanton and steals babies in the darkness.
Isn't that amazing?
Ew.
And so we're going to call it the Lilith Fund. Mm-hmm. Wow. And you know what? These ignorant people cannot see through this.
No.
Amazing. Well, I went to their little website there. It's called needabortion.org. Yeah. And on one page, you know, their splash page says, know your rights, needabortion.org, get the facts about abortion in Texas. And they got hotline to talk to a real person and everything. But here's what's a couple of things interesting. They say where to get an abortion in Texas. And you can do search by address and stuff. But there's several places. But I thought the names were pretty interesting. Of course, they had your typical Planned Parenthood.
Oh, of course.
Of Texas. And that's pretty obvious. But here's one that, you know, you may not even know is an abortion clinic. Austin Women's Health Center. How about Southwestern Surgery Center? Here's one called Whole Woman's Health. And then Hilltop Women's Reproductive Center. Yeah. And all the rest of them are Planned Parenthood. And then they say abortion is still legal in Texas. Click here to get help.
Wow.
And then...
there's still no repentance. Even after everything that's going on.
Yeah.
In these states, they still do these stupid things.
Yeah. And that's, you know, what I was talking about. You would think that with these kind of deals, hopefully a lot of people will turn and go, wow, life is
there's
very
something wrong
fleeting.
here.
Yeah, there's something wrong here in the world. There's something wrong here. This feels like judgment. Let's get our act together. Mm-hmm. And let's start thinking about, you know, real important things in life. And then there's others who are just going to keep cursing other people and saying stupid things and licking trees and doing stuff like this. It's a shame. On their site, you know, you can they have the big donate thing also. You know, you can donate to help people, you know, get their abortions that were inconvenienced by the hurricane. But frequently asked questions, and some of them are just disgusting, but some of them are kind of interesting. And let's see. The first one, is abortion legal in Texas? They say, yes. You can get a legal abortion in Texas through 20 weeks after probable fertilization, or approximately 22 weeks after your last menstrual period. And then it says, if you're under 18, one of your parents must consent to an abortion, or you can request a judge's order called a judicial bypass. And then they have information on how to do that. And let's see, another question. I'm a minor, age 17. Can I get an abortion? So they talk about the judicial bypass. How much does it cost? The average cost is $450.
Wow. That's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. And let's see. Some of this I'm not going to read because it's too graphic. Let's see. Is there a waiting period? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, how about this? I can't afford an abortion. How can I pay for it? There are several options if you need financial assistance. It's a good idea to talk with your abortion provider about that ahead of time. And they have options to provide a small amount of assistance. There's also abortion funds set up around the state that can help you. Some funds pay for the actual procedure, while others offer help with transportation and lodging. And then they have a whole list of people that will help you out. Apparently, the question is, does my insurance cover it? And they say it depends. Some private insurance do and others don't. Medicaid does not. Another question. I don't have a car or ride. How can I get to the nearest clinic? Excuse me. Some abortion funds can help you get to the clinic by giving you a ride or paying for a bus ticket and a hotel. And they have a link to all of that. This one I thought was the most interesting. This question was, should I go to one of those centers offering a free pregnancy test and sonogram?
What?
They're called Crisis Pregnancy Centers, CPCs.
Oh.
So here's the answer. They say these centers are referred to as Crisis Pregnancy Centers, or CPCs. They advertise themselves as pregnancy resource centers, but they are not full options counseling centers and cannot be trusted for medical advice. Check this out. These centers are run by anti-abortion organizations that promise free services in an attempt to force their views on you.
Uh-huh.
If you are interested in having an abortion or want to talk to someone about all your pregnancy options, there are a couple of hotlines we recommend that you call instead. While a free sonogram might be tempting, a sonogram from a CPC will not fulfill the sonogram requirement. Texas law requires that your sonogram be performed by the same provider that will perform your abortion. If you'd like to learn more, click here.
So they don't want you to be
talked out of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then they have a question here. I'm undocumented. Can I get when they tell you where to go? And I guess in Texas now you need an ID. You need an ID, and that could be anything. You know, your birth certificate, your driver's license, your concealed carry handgun, or whatever. You need an ID. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But yeah, they're raising money to help Hurricane Harvey victims that were inconvenienced their abortions.
Wow.
Right on. And that's about all the good news I have today, Mr. Powell.
Woo, that's good.
That's good. Shall we give them a ciao ciao?
Ciao, babies.
Good night.